Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Passion Fuels and Sound podcast.
Yes, sir.
Right now, I'm here with a special guest. I got somebody here I know personally. Watched the grind from ground up. I met this man working for the city of Charlotte, doing ditch and shoulder work, pouring concrete, long days, real labor. And one thing about him, he always stood out, smooth, focused, always knew how to get the job done. But his stories go way deeper, way deeper. This is someone who faced real adversity, made some tough choices, and had to fight his way back from it. And instead of letting his past define him, he flipped it. Ladies and gentlemen, Big Nate, a.k.a. Mr. Concrete. What's up, Nate? How you doing, big dog?
Hey, what's up, brother? What's the deal?
Man, look, this is the deal right here, bro. This is the deal right here. First of all, I want to appreciate you for even coming on this platform.
All right.
I always tell people, and I'm going to tell you to your face, like I tell you behind your back. Bro, you a real individual. It's very few people that I know for a fact that are real individuals. And you are one, man. I just want you to speak on just being a real individual, from just friendships, relationships. Before we really dive deep, before we take it back, speak on being a real individual, bro.
Well, so I always just thought to come myself. You know what I mean? Like, so my big brother, he always just taught me, be yourself. Or my mother, she taught me, like, be yourself. You know, I come from a bottom place, but she just taught me always just be you. You know what I mean? Like, if you got $1 in your pocket, make sure your house is clean. You got $1 in your pocket. It was the city bus back then. And just to catch the bus. So I always remember those principles. You know what I mean? Just
That's
to say,
what's up.
like, I don't want to be what the next guy is. I imitated it young, but I learned that was a myth. So, going through the trials and tribulations, I just always wanted to be me.
So take us back for a moment, Nate. Let's take that fishing rod, put it in the lake, and bring it back, because we ain't catching fish.
Right.
What was life like before things started to change? This mindset, what was that previous mindset like, and what were you dealing with at the time, big dog?
Well, so I had an older brother. My dad, he left young. You know what I mean? It's a story of what most young guys deal with. My dad left young, and my big brother, like, he was the first guy I had to look up to. I got an older brother, and he was the first man I ever seen, the first man I ever loved. And my mother was the first woman I loved. So I mimicked my brother behavior. I mimicked his life. So, in school, he was kind of in trouble, a lot of trouble. So I started mimicking, getting in fights, doing what he did. Eventually I started, going off on a deeper end. You know what I mean? Like, the streets. So I started looking up to rappers.
Yeah.
I started looking up to rappers, drug dealers in my neighborhood. I came from Wilmore. So I started looking up to, the guys that was getting some money.
Yeah. Hey, man, ain't it funny how Wilmore look right now?
Right. It's $1 million conversation now.
Hey, one word, gentrification.
Yeah, gentrification.
And speaking on gentrification, I mean, look, you ain't changed like gentrification would make something change, but you stayed solid the whole way through. Now, what was the moment where you decided, man, I really need to make this change, bro? Like, you talked about the rappers. You talked about the events from looking up to your brother. Like, I didn't have an older brother. I wasn't blessed with that. I got 3 older sisters, but I looked up to their boyfriends.
Right.
And then I wasn't even raised in the streets, but they showed me the streets.
Right.
So I understand when you're looking up to somebody with that mindset, I know where it could go. So what was the moment where you decided, man, look, bro, I really need to make a change?
So it was when I was 24 years old, and I was in a maximum security prison in South Carolina. I was in Lee County.
Hold on. Prison?
Yeah, prison.
Talk about it. Go ahead.
Yeah. So so at 16 years old, I fought the biggest case of my life. You know what I mean? 28 charges. And they offered me like a life sentence, but I told them, when we're going to go to trial, like the guys that I loved dearly that was around me, they was telling on me.
Damn.
They told on me. I got out, I made it through the situation. Like, God, he blessed me out the situation. I came back to the streets, and I started back, in the same activity.
Yeah.
Young. I came home when I was 18, and I got into the same activity. And I was on my way to Atlanta, and I had a gun, drugs in the car, and I was with 4 guys. And one of the guys told on me. He said, "Well, it's all Nathaniel Cassell."
Oh, right on site, or he waited to go to.
So he waited. He waited till we got into the interrogation room.
So on site, dude was basically acting like he gonna take the rep or stay solid, basically.
Yeah. So he acted like he was solid.
Yeah.
He acted like he was solid. And so I had to sit in the jail. I didn't get a bond, and I was in Spartanburg, South Carolina. So I sat in the jail for 6 months. No bond. Nobody could touch me. And there, I was kind of making the decision, but I didn't make. Just then, I didn't know what was gonna happen. And once I went in front of the judge told me, "We're gonna sentence you." I went in there with an open plea, 0 to 30 years. And the judge gave me 14 years nonviolent.
So basically, you bet on yourself.
Right. I mean, it's just what I seen, guys that did the same things that I was doing when I was in the streets. They was, 50 years, 60 years. Like, these guys, some of them never come home. You know what I mean? Yeah. In that moment, like, when I seen, and talked to a lot of guys, I knew that, man, God got a plan for me. I'm coming here. I'm going to do these 7.5 years. I'm going home. You know what I mean? But it was and a lot of them got life sentences, 60 years. And at that moment, I say, man, I hate the streets. It's over for the streets.
Now, what do you say? Because we going to get there. But what do you say to these young people who chase what you ran away from?
Well, you got to know how to count the cost. Like, when I say count the cost, like, you got to say, can I throw my life away? I'm going to prison or I'm going to die. Like, can my mother handle this situation? If you love your mother, you know what I mean? Or can I handle the time that they're going to give me? For life, forever. Like, prison it's a tough place. I don't know if I can cuss on here, but it's a...
Nah, do your thing.
It's hell. It's hell on earth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a hell. Like, you got a lot of guys in there that today, while we having a conversation, their conversation is, but when I was on the streets, I was doing this. I wish I was back home, messing with this girl or doing this.
Yeah.
It just, and I tell young niggas, like, young guys, young men, that the streets it's a myth. It's one of the biggest lies told. I think Troy Ave said it first, but it's just one of the biggest lies told.
Why do you think this lie survives? Because most lies in this world, I mean, I guess everybody lies some way, or have, or are about to, or we can't stop that. But why does this same lie about the streets never gets denounced? Never gets what they call it when people say something in public and everybody denounces them. I forgot what you call it. Y'all know what they call it? Counsel. Cause like, why the street lie don't get canceled?
What? Cause it's fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's a passage in the scripture that say, like, even if you talk religion, it say, wide is the road to destruction, narrow is the road to, doing good. But it's fun. It's fun until I'm caught up, until I'm messed up, until I'm stuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So I was at church today, and it's crazy because I ain't been in 4 weeks. I had my kids today. It was Youth Sunday. And the main verse for the pastor, he was like, don't copy the behavior and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect. That's Romans 12:2. If y'all want to look that up, it has more scripture behind it. But I wanted to throw that out. Transformation. So you transfer from that situation, and we're going to call this building success because, man, bro, I seen this in slow motion, bro. And look, I ain't going to lie, bro. I had my pom-poms for you, bro.
I worked on your crew.
Hey, look.
You was a crew chief. I worked on your crew.
Look, check this out. When Nate made Transformation, right? And what I saw from basically leaving the department I was in to go into another department, I was still watching. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I was cheering for you, Nate.
Right.
Because I saw you use. Now, this is my mindset. I may be wrong and correct me when I'm wrong. I saw you come with the city. I knew you had got locked up for something. Didn't know. Didn't care. You know what I'm saying? Right. Good brother. And work with you. Converse with you. Right. Similarities. Music was a big similarity. And I supported you. Right. With you. Good support comes when you don't know. Right. You understand what I'm saying? I supported you, and I keep supporting you because you don't just take yours and go. Right. You take yours and give back. Right. So I just want to know, how did you go from working hands-on in the field to owning your own concrete company, becoming successful in real estate? What changed you? What changed the mentality? And what was strategic? What was your strategy, bro? Because there's people outside that's stuck, thinking they done been in prison for so long. They come out in this world, they don't even know, bro. It's really like that if you had the mindset of Big Nate. Talk to me.
All right. I mean, it's just that, I didn't want to be stuck. I know how it felt, like in every situation. Like even through prison, I remember, the water code. These guys, they would take your stuff. And in prison, you got to kill these guys. Like, there's no guns there. They got knives and shanks. Or you got to join the gang. But you got to go war for your life. You know what I mean? And you sitting around a bunch of guys. A bunch of, if you're a woman, you sitting around a bunch of women, every day. And I just had a drive. I remember a pastor told me, when I came home, he was like, nobody will ever hire you. And the city of Charlotte gave me a chance.
Hold on. A pastor told you that? Yeah, in the sense where he was encouraging you, in the sense where like on some like, bro, like you hard-headed.
Well, so he looked at my background. So he seen my background. I had to take my background paperwork, to him and show him that I was a 3-time felon. I've been convicted 3 times. So I lost 3 times. In their eyes.
Hold on, you lost 3 times. In whose eyes?
In their eyes.
All right, my bad. Go ahead.
But God, he view the heart. Like, one thing about God, like, he know the heart. You know what I mean? And I just, like, I was determined. Like, I pray. You know what I mean? I talk to God. And I still struggle. I struggle with it, but I just believed it as a young kid. You know what I mean? Like, I can do it. Like, and I wrote a book, a generational letter to like young kids, and just to let them know that you got to be honest with self. Like, it don't matter where you come from, what you've been through, what you look like you can do it. You put your all into it. And I knew what I put into the streets. I knew one thing, because when I was in the streets, I went hard. Like if they know, they know.
Yeah. Hey, look, say less.
Yeah. So if like I'm going hard. I'm standing on it. This is what I do. Like, so, I'm not talking it.
So basically, and this is me speaking, correct me if I'm wrong, because this is what I assume about you, and it's a great assumption, that you took the same mentality you had for the streets, but you switched it and you took that same work ethic and you put it in a successful mindset. Am I right or wrong about that, bro?
Right. They go into business. Like, and I tell a guy, if you sell some weed, like if you selling candy in school, like, you got a business mentality. It's just like, how do I transfer this over into dealing with these people? You know what I'm saying? Like, so it all go hand in hand.
All right, so this is what I'm about to do, Nate. All right, I'm about to imagine what you did from where I met you to grasp it all where you at, and it's about to be fast forward, right?
Right.
So first, let me do this right quick. All right, so here we go. I met you. We worked for the city of Charlotte. That's when I first met you, right?
Right.
I realized, this is my perspective, I realized that, hey, Nate knows some people I know. Right. And it seemed like everybody that we had mutual friendships with that you may know and may not know was a real individual.
Right.
So that put you under a real tree for me.
Right.
Feel what I'm saying? It was like an umbrella, it was like limbs, and Nate was on one of those limbs based off somebody else I knew in my lifetime that I grew up with that you connected with.
Right.
All right, so I don't know what happened, but I left the street maintenance department. I went to code enforcement under housing the neighborhood, right? Doing my thing, stand back, stand low, goddamn, doing what I got to do as an employee. I watch you branch out, get your own business, from using the resources that the city of Charlotte will let you use. Right. And when I say let you use, it's because you run into people that create businesses.
Right.
And instead of you just doing an everyday job, you adapted relationships.
Right.
And when you made those relationships, you connected with each other. When I came to each other, well, you probably had this stuff written down on paper before you actually did it.
Well, you got to write the vision out, make it clear.
Woo! See, man, look, I'm leading you somewhere without me telling you.
I mean, but you just got to write it out. People are like, I don't want to write it down, But a lot of this stuff, I wrote it out. Like, even last year, I just wrote out my plans for 2026. You know what I mean? And sometimes you might not hit it. You just got to stay grounded. It may be delayed, but not denied.
So check this out. Here's where I'm going. For somebody listening right now who feels stuck or feels like the past is holding them back, what would you tell them about making a change and pushing forward, like right now?
Well, sometimes you got to sit down. If funding ain't there, if you don't have the money, like sometimes you got to sit down. Sometimes you got to sit down. But you go back at it. It's like when a construction company is building these big buildings. It might rain, it might snow, but the next time when the sun clear, when the sun out, they're going into overtime to finish this project. You know what I mean? So sometimes you just be honest with yourself. Like, you got to be honest with self first. You know what I mean? And then you go back at your dream. You go back at your passion. Like, you work at it. You chip at it. I mean, you just do something. Like, you just don't give up. Like, I just wrote a post today. Like, you never quit until you can't no more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and you just chip at it. Like, because it ain't just this perfect idea. You see it in your head, but eventually it start getting there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're going to go through some stuff. You're going to go through some stuff. Losers just quit. Winners just win.
Say that one more time, big dog.
Losers just quit, and winners just win.
All right, that was for the edits.
Right. That's just real talk.
Hey, look, because the simplest message is the best message.
Right.
Man, Nate, look. All right, so, okay. Last question, bro. Like, this interview was my first.
Right.
Y'all, I ain't gonna lie, this is my first episode for the first podcast.
You gotta start somewhere.
No. This is a big move. I got Nate on the first episode, bro.
Well,
Bro, I'm just saying, bro. Hey, like I told you on the phone the other day, I'm giving you your flowers.
Right.
I gotta give you your flowers. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, a lot of street. I'm gonna just keep it clean. A lot of street people think that they can't transition into this world. In this world of, we talking about this world of people, how can I just say it? Corporate. Let's put it like this, because everything's corporate when you're being legit. And I didn't want to go here, but I'm gonna go here because when we talk about a corporate person with a street mentality, when we talk about a corporate individual that's seen the BS and seen how to play the move and who to talk to like this and who to talk to like this and you know what I mean? You're a great example because you can't be loud in every room.
Right. Sometimes you got to be quiet.
And talk about being quiet in the room, bro.
Well, sometimes you got to. Like, so I'm in meetings now with $1 billion, $1 million people. So I tell my lady, I'm going to put a new face on success. I told her from the jump, like even with real estate, because people be like, well, because he looks like this and you can't do this. But Jesus was like a Jew. He was the greatest example of how to cope with everything. And so he's my biggest example. Like, no matter my struggles or failures, it just taught me that, sometimes you got to look like them people. That's why I say, so I don't, like, when I give it back, I'll be like, so I've died to self. And I've died to self. Like, it's not about me. I like nice stuff. I'm going to have nice stuff, but I'm not going to shop for Michael Jordans and do all this, other stuff. I'm going to find some bargains.
They so blind, man.
Right.
But it is what it is. It's good to look good. It's good to feel good.
I mean, that will be done on earth as it is in
heaven.
Man, like, you still want to keep yourself together, but just going to chase the myth of the world. I'm not chasing that. Like, I'm just, I'm in a room with $1 million, $1 billion people. The people that say I never sit in a room with them. And, today in my life, I get to see it, with my own life. And it's a blessing. And I go in there and let them know, like, hey, I know this. What we talking, square footage or,
Yeah.
And the city of Charlotte gave me the
resources, the
blueprint, the platform. So I'm forever grateful, and I salute the city of Charlotte.
Man, I tell people every time that if you want a testimony, and these just individuals that can relate to you, right? And unrelatable individuals that don't understand how people can get here and be here.
Right.
It's all perspective, it's all mindset, it's all meeting the challenges and treating it like a goal and not calling it a challenge.
Well, you gotta want it, and you. It's like how bad you want it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't. I don't think you sell your soul for it. Like, it just. So one of the things I always say, like, you got to be honest with self. Like first, like at the end of this day, when I leave here, I gotta go home and look in the mirror. When I go lay down, I gotta go be honest with Nate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, Nate, you messed up in this area. You did this in this area.
Yeah.
But then it's just how bad you want it. Like,
Yeah.
Cause you can do it. Like, my biggest thing with people, you can do it.
Yeah. And the good thing about that voice that you said when you go home and look in the mirror, that voice right there is the voice that can be louder if you allow it to talk.
Right.
And
right.
the moment you allow it to talk, that voice will speak things into you more than anybody on earth will speak to you. And that's why they say if you love yourself, you can love anybody.
Right.
And that brings me to my last question, man. Was there ever a time when you felt like giving up? And if so, what kept you going, bro?
Oh yeah. I felt like quitting last year. You know, just to be honest, but it's just something that keep inside of me that you can do it. You know, if you tell these people that, you know, but you can do it, like from where you made it from. And I'm just always reminded where I made it from. You know what I mean? Like, I made it from negative nothing. I was homeless. I was messed up. Like, you know, people that you helped on the streets. When I came home, you know, I ain't see a lot of people. You know, but it just reminded me that you can do it. Like, and you keep going, you know, and you know, and like I said, I talk to God, so I pray. I'm not perfect with no perfection.
Nobody.
Perfection.
Yeah,
like no perfection, no religion. You know, but I talk to the master, like I talk to him on the album. And I just like you go until I can't no more.
Look, Nate, let me let this run real quick, cause this is my song, bro. Like when you came out with this, you pushed this heavy, important.
That's one of the biggest records. I love it.
Yeah.
I got the biggest badge June 22nd in Wonderwood.
Man, look.
Yeah.
That's his hood, Wonderwood, man. You do so many great things for that community. You give back, and it don't be no drama with it. It's like everybody respects you, and I respect you. I love you, bro. And I appreciate you for coming through and sharing your story.
Hey.
Real, honest, and powerful. And to everybody listening, let this be your reminder to no matter where you start and what you've been through, your future is still yours to build. This is what we stand on. Real stories, real growth, real purpose. Passion fused the sound, man. We out.
Hey, and you gonna do it.
That's a wrap, y'all.
Posted up the pieces, put them back together. All the time they talk down when they ain't doing better. People like the weather, they gon' change forever. Make myself a boss despite my circumstances. You wouldn't understand my pain if it